Yeah, then you don't have a problem being on tape, right?
Yeah, shouldn't.
So you are Dennis Hegeman?
You got it.
And you're the guy that stole Dana's truck because...
I appropriated it.
You said in there in front of the chief you stole the truck.
I was off the record.
Oh, now you're on the record saying you didn't steal, like you said in front of the chief.
I appropriated it on behalf of Jane Hardy.
Okay, so
Mary
asked you to steal the truck for Dana.
No, what happened? Here's the deal. Dana fraudulently put his name on that title.
So that allows you to go take the truck from him?
She wanted me to.
Okay.
She wanted me to protect.
So
the
she paid you to go get it?
Maybe not.
So you went and did it for nothing? You went and stole the truck for nothing?
I went and appropriated the truck on her behalf.
You realize there's a title in Dana's name?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, so what gives you the right to go take a vehicle that's in somebody else's name?
Because I reported it to the police department.
So the police gave you the authority to do that?
Yes.
So the police said it was okay. Which police? Jeff Gilbert?
Actually it was...
Patterson?
No, it was Fabi.
Fabi said go ahead and do it.
Well, when she was arresting Dana across the street, she said, it's on videotape as well, that it's being investigated that title is fraudulent. And let me explain how that worked. What happened is, Mary is sitting in her trailer. Bud made up a list, this is before he passed away, made up a list of things that he wanted to give to Mary after he passed away. On that list includes the truck and other in the trailer and the motorhome and blah blah blah, a whole list of stuff. So Dana took Bud down. Mary agreed that Dana would take Bud down and get this notarized with his signature. And she said, while you're at it, at the same time, get the title of the truck notarized too. So he goes down there and gets it and bring it back to me because it's my truck and I'm going to put my name on it. Well, instead of doing that, he does a behind-the-scenes thing. He comes back and he says, oh, I haven't got the title with me right now. I'll get it to you later. Well, in the meantime, he's put his name on it instead of hers. I scolded her the other day. What you should have done is put your name on the buyer before you had Dana, who's a conniving and other stuff, who will steal that if he gets a chance. And that's exactly what happened.
So
and
Mary,
that's why they're investigating, because this other piece of paper says that Bud has given that truck to Mary.
You have that piece of paper?
The police have it.
Okay.
Yeah. They took
so you went and picked it up because Mary said to. But the police gave you permission to.
What she did is she hollered at me, hey, they just took off with the truck. I said, what?
Why do you care?
Huh?
Why do you care?
Because they've trespassed on my property. And
she's a renter.
Well, yeah,
she's a renter.
Not.
Yeah, but they were married for 20 years. 19 years. Did you know they were married for 19 years?
Well, that's a new one on me.
Yeah.
I thought he was married to Bud's daughter, Shauna, in Wisconsin.
Or maybe it is. Are they sisters?
No, there's no relationship.
Dana said he was married to someone for 19 years. I assumed it was Mary. So no, it's not Mary?
No, it was Shauna. Bud's...
Okay.
He's the ex-husband.
But I find it fascinating that the police give you a permission to go steal that truck.
They didn't give me... I didn't get permission to take the truck and put it over on my property, but I told them what I did. In fact, Rick Patterson is the one that authorized me to go get the truck where Dana parked it over there at Gust's place.
So you went on somebody else's property and took it?
Yeah, with the authorization of the police department.
So the police gave you permission to steal the vehicle?
Well, okay. They gave me permission to take the truck and put it back on my property.
Well, it's in somebody else's name. That's called theft. It's the
Rick told me it was under investigation. He said the best thing you could do right now is to block that truck in so nobody can take it again until we complete our investigation.
Rick told you that?
Yeah, Rick Patterson.
You know, Rick was fired by the sheriff's department, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
For bad behavior. He had 2 more years before he retired, and the sheriff, Rick Patterson, was the undersheriff, #2 cop in the county, and he got fired by the sheriff. Did you know that?
I think everybody in this town's gotten fired once.
Well, it doesn't excuse it.
Well, what's that got to do with what I just,
Well, why are you taking orders from pieces of crap like Patterson? That guy's
I'm not taking orders, I'm taking advice.
Same thing.
These cops don't tell me what to do.
Obviously, you go to them for permission. When you want to do something you want to do, you go to the cops, and because they're against Dana, they let you do whatever you want. Don't you understand how that's wrong?
They're against Dana because they've got about 16 counts against him.
So they got 30 against me this month. 30.
Well,
do you think that's fair?
Well, it sounds like a bias, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds like they're biased against you and Dana.
Well, see, now you're talking in circles, Mr. Hegeman. You just said he's a bad guy because he's got all these charges, and now you're saying...
No. I'm not saying he's a bad guy because he's got all those charges. The police thdepartment is leaning towards throwing him in the clink to drop a hat for long hair if necessary.
And you think you're okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with that.
But you're taking advice and asking them to do things which are clearly illegal, and because they say so, you go ahead with it.
Yes.
Because you have a financial interest in this? What are you getting out of the truck?
Because...
What are you getting out of the truck?
What am I getting out of it? When Mary gets possession of that truck, she's going to sell it to me. That was an agreement.
So you're doing it because you want to have the truck for money?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
And I don't want to throw Mary out. She's not paying rent. And
so you're letting her stay there rent-free in exchange for that truck that you went and got?
Yeah.
Even though it's not in her name and it's not in your name?
You got it. That's exactly
and you think that's right?
I don't know what's right until the investigation is done.
So you went and stole it before the
Dana might end up with the truck.
But you took it before the investigation was done.
I took it because Rick Patterson told me, go ahead and tow the truck back, block it in until the investigation is over with.
Okay. All right, thanks. Thanks for your side of the story. I'll go give this to Jade, and then you should go talk to Jade. We're not opposed to all sides of the story. This is not the Desert Messenger here. Okay, we do hear both sides of the story here.
This is good.
Okay, but, you know, you clearly, I mean, you told Jeff Gilbert in there that you stole that truck.
Well, that's hyperbole.
No, it isn't hyper.
He knows what I mean.
Well, you said I stole that truck because Gilbert. But you said it, right?
He knows what I mean.
You said it, right?
That's off the record.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything on video.
Oh, but okay, but you said it. But now that the camera's rolling, you're going to change your mind.
No, I'm just not going to commit.
See, when you start taking orders from crap like that, you start, you know. And there's Elmer London.
Elmer, you're still around.
Well, you're talking to Gilbert.
Leave him alone.
I'm not talking to him.
We got cameras too, Mike.
Wow, I'm really afraid of a camera.
Right.
Yeah, I heard about you driving down the center lane with
No, there's one.
Pardon?
Yeah, go on.
Well, yeah, but I just want to tell him I don't appreciate him taking my phone.
Okay.
Well, then you ought to leave the public. In the public, it's legal.
He's telling you he doesn't want he doesn't want his video taken.
Then leave.
Okay?
Leave. See you later. Yeah, me neither.
Wow.
Big man, aren't you, Mike?
Just like you, Jeff. Little potbelly, got the badge, and gun.
I think it's real sweet, you know, picking on little 90-year-old men.
You think it's real sweet picking on citizens, you piece of shit. See you later, fuckface.
You can put that